Thank you for inviting us, and the City of Ferguson is very excited to host you here in our community center this evening. We're very proud of the work that the African Diaspora Council has done to put on this event. We are very excited again to be the host of this event, and on behalf of the City of Ferguson, I'd like to welcome you, and I have a proclamation from myself and the City Council to read here. This proclamation is congratulating the African Diaspora Council on their second signature anniversary dinner and welcoming them to the City of Ferguson.
A very warm welcome. We're going to bring up Mr. Jack Kirkland.
I want to talk about a declaration for codependency, because I think this would be the legacy of Nelson Mandela. So how do we spend our money? And how unaware are we that we waste much of it? And while we are asleep, there are innovations being crafted that will cause what we are currently doing to cease to exist. Can you imagine water dripping from a fountain, faucet, in your bathroom while sleeping at night? Just imagine that. Now let me ask you to put a bucket under that dripping faucet and see if that bucket doesn't run over the following morning. That is the nature of money running through our community. It seems as small as that and as negligent. It seems too little to bother, to bring in a plumber, or even much too costly. And the water bill is not excessive, and the stoppage can be delayed, but later. And so time, and money, and water, and opportunity is wasted and never recovered. To bring what we have and resources, which is a plethora of resources, and it does not have to be fiscal, but we have all kinds of resources. I could search this room right now, and I could find tremendous resources. And so remember that we in Diaspora are a strong and determined people. No doubt that we have capital. If we as a people in this country were amassed in one place in the world and collected under one particular title or country name, we would be the 16th wealthiest nation in the world.
So therefore, I ask every one of us to take African Diaspora Council as a big deal in the black community. The effort of our founding fathers and mothers like Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Obafemi Awolowo of Nigeria, Mr. Gandhi of India, and of course, the hero of forgiveness, Mr. Nelson Mandela. In 365 days, our success story includes the release of a Burundian refugee who dreams to bring his family to the United States, and also the visits to Riverview Garden School District, where we showcase the authentic Africa, not the symbolic Africa on the TV that lives on the tree and is covered and overwhelmed with poverty. Also, the success story also includes the helping of a 74-year-old Togolese woman, which to improve quality of life and our health. At ADC, we sleep to dream of your best interests and needs. We brainstorm every day on how to make you happier with a view of ensuring you an efficient, able to contribute to the development of your local community and this great country as a whole. It may interest you to know that we have been through this. We can feel it. We know what it takes to be black, to be immigrants, to be African Americans. We all, in our own way, are the piece of cake. But I want to assure you this evening that there is no success without a story. Therefore, I urge each and every one of you to please join hands with us to take this to the next level, and I will see you at the top.
Along with my comrades, with the whole movement here in St. Louis to free Nelson Mandela during the movement of Free Nelson Mandela. So it's in that spirit that our organization have a plaque, not a plaque, but a format that we had put together upon his release from prison, celebrating his strength internationally. And the last quote, and this is my favorite quote, I was called a terrorist yesterday, but when I came out of jail, many people embraced me, including my enemies. That speaks to the great legacy of the Honorable Nelson Mandela. And so it's in that spirit that our organization wanted to present this plaque to the African Diaspora Council as our expression of complete solidarity with the African diaspora. My goodness. These are the members of our organization and our junior chamber. We also believe in working with our youth because the youth is our future.
If you look at the picture, you can see Mandela, Kwame Nkrumah, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Jomo Kenyatta, and all the rest. But Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence. It was at the independence ceremony of Ghana that Martin Luther King said, if a black man can govern, can run his own country, then he has a dream that black American will also run and become the president of the United States of America in 50 years' time. And in 50 years' time, Barack Obama became the president of America. Now, let us put the rest. Martin Luther King in 63 did what? Did a march. And in 65, Kwame Nkrumah organized the first African Heads of State Unity Conference in Ghana in 1963. And that begat the African Union that we are seeing today. At the same time, he organized for the liberation fighters for Africa, and he housed them in Accra so that they could liberate the whole of the continent. At the same time, he linked up with Pan-Africanists, Marcus Garvey, W.B. Du Bois, Arthur Lewis, who was a famous economist in the 60s, in the 50s and the 60s. So that Ghana, when they talk about diaspora relations, Ghana, that is why we are here. Because we know the importance of the diaspora. And Africa states, if you look at the Pan-Africanist movement in the early 60s, you could see that they were all for the development of the culture of Africa so that it will not be diluted, and then they will develop the African personality so that if today we are celebrating the life and legacy of Mandela, the story cannot be fully told without the linkage of Kwame Nkrumah.
That's right.
So I am just here to link up the total liberation of Africa. Nkrumah unfortunately was overthrown in 1966. But at the time that he was overthrown, many African countries had attained independence except South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Mozambique, and Angola. But today, all of them have attained independence. Thank you very much, and greetings from Ambassador General Smith. Thank you.
We are a resilient people. We won't give up, we won't take down, and we certainly will get the job done together. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and until next year, we say thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.